हो।
दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार 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 हो।
दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार।
दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार हो।
दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार हो।
दादा भगवान ना असीम जय जयकार हो।
दादा भगवान ना Arunaman, continue Korjo. My computer is frozen here, so I don't know what's happening.
Okay. दादा
We have to go to another
भगवान
computer.
ना असीम जय जयकार हो।
दादा भगवान 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 ना असीम जय जयकार हो।
Jai Satchidanand.
जय सच्चिदानंद जय सच्चिदानंद। जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय
पिताजी
सच्चिदानंद।
श्रीमंत्र बुलाओ।
जय अरविंद, जय सच्चिदानंद।
एक सेकंड। नमो वीतरागाय
नमो वीतरागाय,
नमो वरिहंताणम
नमो
नमो
अरिहंताणं,
अरिहंताणं,
नमो सिद्धाणम
नमो
नमो
सिद्धाणं,
दानं,
नमो आयरियाणम
नमो
नमो
आयर्याणं,
आयर्याणं,
नमो वज्रायाणम
नमो
नमो उवज्जायाणं,
यानं,
नमो लोये सव्व साहुणम
नमो
नमो लोये सव्व साहुणं,
लोकसाहुणं।
ऐसो पंचनमुक्कारो
ऐसो
ऐसो पंचन्मुखारो,
जनमुखारो,
सर्वपापपनासनो
सर्वपावपणासनो,
सर्वपापप्रणाशनो,
मंगलाणं च सवेसें
मङ्गलानं च सर्वेषां,
सर्वेसिन्,
परमं हवै मंगलम्।
परमं
परमं हवै मङ्गलम्।
मङ्गलम्।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ
ॐ नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय।
ॐ
ॐ नमः
नमः
शिवाय।
शिवाय।
जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय
जय सच्चिदानंद।
सच्चिदानंद।
जय सच्चिदानंद महात्माओं।
Jai Satchidanand, everyone.
जय सच्चिदानंद। Okay, Kasabhai, your question?
Yeah, question and yeah, related. Then I will tell experience also. So this came in WhatsApp, so I will put it. Then you can explain that. Can you see?
Yes.
One,
No, it went away.
just a minute. Yeah, now can you see?
Yes.
Yeah, so here it is say please translate also. So it says that માટે અમે કહ્યું કે એ જ્ઞાન લેશો નહીં, લેશો તો આજ્ઞામાં રહેજો, ને તો ઊંચેથી પડવાની સ્થિતિ બહુ ઊંચું છે, તે આ તો હડકું એક સાજુ નહીં રહે. Yeah, so please translate and explain in detail what Dada Bhagwan want to say.
Okay.
Context.
Pulinanandji?
I just read દાદાશ્રી પણ મનમાં વિચાર આમ થઈ જશે, તે થયું તરત, વિચાર્યું કે થઈ ગયું. અમારી આજ્ઞાની બહાર જરા ખસો અને પોતાનું ડાપણ કરવા ગયો કે માર પડ્યો, એ બળતરા હોવ ઊભી થઈ જાય. શું થાય? માટે અમે કહ્યું છે કે આ જ્ઞાન લેશો નહીં, લેશો તો આજ્ઞામાં રહેજો, નહીં તો ઊંચેથી પડવાની સ્થિતિ બહુ ઊંચું છે, આ તો હાડકું એક સાજું નહીં રહે. શું કહ્યું? आई डोंट नो, इसके आगे पीछे का रेफरेंस चाहिए.
And
How do
also,
you...
yeah, this reference is this is the came the video shared video Gyani Purush a Krishna age Mahavir. This one this video came, so it is from there.
I understand, but હવે આ મનમાં વિચાર આવ્યો, શેના માટેનો વિચાર છે? આજ્ઞાની પાછળ ડાપણ કરવા ગયો તો મારો ગયો, બળતરા હાવ ઊભી થઈ જાય. કારણ કે આ ઉપરથી પડવાની જે વાત કરે છે ને, એ સમજવું પડે ક્યાંથી શેના માટે કે છે. આ એક વાત વિષય માટે દાદાએ કરેલી કે વિષયમાં તમે જરાક અણહકનું આવશે તો પછી ઉપરથી પછડાશો, અધોગતિમાં જશો, અને પછી ગેરંટી નહીં જ્ઞાનની, હાડકું એક નહીં દેખાય. આ જે મેં તમને જ્ઞાન આપ્યું છે બહુ ઊંચા પ્રકારનું છે, એટલે ત્યાં એક આ રેફરન્સ છે. પછી બીજી બાજુ આપણું બ્રહ્મચર્ય બાજુએ મૂકી દો અને સામાન્ય આપણે જ્ઞાનની વાત કરીએ તો આમાં કદાચ એવું હશે કે આજ્ઞા લીધા પછી પોતાનું ડાપણ વાપરવાનું જે કહે છે ને આમાં પોતાનું ડાપણ એટલે એ બુદ્ધિનો ડખો કે શાસ્ત્રોનું વાંચેલું હોય કે બીજું કંઈક હોય એ ડખો થશે કે આમાં તો આમ કહ્યું છે દાદા તો આમ કહે છે આવુંથી કંઈ હોતું હશે એટલે જ્ઞાની માટે જો શંકા ઊભી થઈ જાય કુશંકા ઊભી થઈ જાય તો પછી બળતરા બી ઊભી થાય અને બળતરા ઊભી થઈને પછી વિરાધના કદાચ કરે અને વિરાધના કરે તો નીચે પડવાની આખી વાત થાય.
It is can I request you to tell in
English.
English?
Yeah. It just prevent with the Gujarati only.
Yes.
એટલે, as I was saying, you see, I need the reference. Oh, maybe you share the video. I will go
Definitely, I
through.
will share. It is in the video this which came, this with Gyani Purush, age Krishnan, age Mahavir. I will.
Yeah. Take me. What I'm saying, listen, Baba, I understood what you said that. I understood that you told it's in that video. But I'm saying you share that video with me personally later on. Maybe right now we may not have all the time, but I will like to go through it and maybe I may be able to give a more concrete answer. But two things that just come to my mind based on what has been read over here. First, let me translate in English for the benefit of others. That if we get a little thought in the mind, I'm just say something like that will happen, then that will happen, And if you અમારી આજ્ઞાની બહાર જરા ખસો તો પોતાનું ડાપણ કરવા ગયો. That means if you go outside our ajna, don't follow our ajna and go by your own dapan or your own intellect, your own wisdom, not really wisdom, but unwiseness, then you will have bad results and you will also have a lot of heartburn, bharatra. That's why Dada says that you don't take this gnan, this Atma Gnan. And if you take, then you'll have to remain in our agnas, in our 5 agnas. Otherwise, you will fall from a great height. The height of the gnan that I'm giving you, Jaik Samkit, is so high that in case you fall from that pedestal, then you're not a single bone will left. So just that's an analogy that if you fall from a top height of a mountain, then all your bones will get broken. So if you fall from this height, you understand. So if I take in the reference of only this Gnan, then the reference of the Gnan, it may mean that if someone has come with preconceived notions about Atma or Moksha, and then there's a conflict within him that whether this is right, whether this is wrong, and then that will create a heartburn. How Dada said like this, how it can be like this. It is said so in the scriptures like this. That would cause heartburn. And then doubting Dada's Gnan may lead to Viradna, and that will then drop him. That means he'll be drop him in the sense that he will move far away from Samket or self-realization.
Should I play the video if it is Rajniji allows? I have the video. Should I play the video?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Because like Pulinanandji says, you need to send it to the Aptaputras and maybe we can take it next time. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah.
So that is the pitfall that I is saying that you will be, you will go far. You will go far away. You will go far away from Samket or the self-realization. And if you do Viradna, and that is what I can understand from this little paragraph here.
Okay, Deepakanandji, you can have any insight into this?
Yeah, Jai Satchidanand. As Dada Bhagwan has said very clearly, there are two aspects. One is disobedience of his agna, his precepts, and second is immorality. These two mistakes are possible. So what Dada has said over here, if you break the first barrier, which is the barrier of obedience. Then, now what is that? Primarily, the main aspect of the precepts, Agna, is the third one, to accept everything that has happened as Vyavasthit. So here, as it is very well coming up here, like our mind may think that, oh, this will happen, that will happen. And if that get accepted inside, oh yeah, what if it happens? Then what is going to happen, that you are accepting what your mind is saying. Whereas Dada in the Agna number 3, he has said clearly, nothing is going to happen outside the boundary of Vyavasthit. So be firm and clear. But because of the intellect part, today's intellect, which is result of the past ignorance, it is definitely going to make you cross the third Agna of Vyavasthit. Everything that happens is as per the cosmic power of Vyavasthit. So this is where he says that these need immediate correction. And if it is not corrected, then over a period of time when this thing happened repeatedly, even although you have got self-realized, you will be living like an ignorant person only. So that bliss which is given in your hands, on your palm, you're not going to experience that. And now you don't get away with the knowledge. But what happens is, he had said like this, that if this is the central place where you are tied, and if you miss the first, that is the Agna, that is, you're not able to accept Vyavasthit, then, there is a likelihood that this gets bent. So, if you are likely to get freed in 2 to 3 lives, maybe it will take 5 to 6 lives. This is the implication of skipping Agna. So you can consider that as the fence of ordinary barbed wire fence. You can come back. There is a possibility of retreat. You can correct yourself, and as much fast you correct, or immediately if you correct, then the effect will be like negligible. Now the second one is crossing the boundaries of morality.
Hardcore Saju ne rahe, what Dadaji wants to say?
Huh?
Hardcore Saju nahi rahe. With the bones will not be intact.
So it's like if the bone, if it just breaks ordinarily, you can repair the bone. But what if it gets crashed? There is no way you can put anything inside to fix the bone also. In the sense, we have to understand the language by what he says. The second fence or boundary is electrified barbed wire. So it's like electrified barbed wire means if you touch that means you cross that boundary, then you're gone. You lose this self-realization also. And what Dada has said, if there is a possibility of the presence of an enlightened soul, maybe passing through another process of initiation, you will be able to come out of it. Otherwise, it's a sure way to disaster only. In the sense he has said, you go to the hellish life form. So this is a great word of caution what Dada has given. First is breaking or not following him, disobedience, and the second one is crossing the boundary of morality. Does that clarify?
And yeah, that clarifies. And yeah, and in connection with that,
Yeah, your voice is breaking.
breaking. Okay. Yeah, now is it coming?
Yeah,
Yes,
go
yes,
ahead.
yes. So indirectly, he has cautioned that if you're not willing to remain obedient to me, better don't take this wisdom, because with the wisdom, it becomes your responsibility to remain within the boundaries of obedience, agnas.
So for us,
In fact, it is like, definitely you will come to his uh, refuge when you are done with all your life efforts. So ultimately, you will come to him only when you are willing to follow him. You understand? Otherwise, people don't want, they will never surrender themselves.
is what I understand is that we should people should not take Gyan if they don't want to. They are not serious. Is it?
That's true. So it's like, many times what happens, the people tell someone, my friend and all the acquaintance, that okay, come. So maybe, this possibility is like might have seen someone who just got influenced by someone's telling that, okay, fine, we will go and have this Gnan. But then this wisdom puts one into a great responsibility, that if after surrendering, after acquisition of the knowledge, if one don't remain obedient to Dada, then these are the possibilities. So he doesn't want, he just wants to make us responsible and understand the importance and value of the knowledge done
After
vidya.
Gyan, the effect of if we don't go to as per Agya, the bad effect will be worse, very bad. That's what I understand, right?
So I explained you the two aspects. That pole on which you get tied with the Gnan, and if you stretch, then the circumference of your grazing, there is, instead of maybe 2 or 3 lives, it will be like 6 or 8 lives.
And so connected with this, that our roadmap means we have to for us is to be try to be in the agnas and analyze where we are not in the agnas, and then do pratikraman for that, and do the sambhav nikal, and be in the accept Vyavasthit.
Correct. Here, it is like the knowledge and the wisdom of this knowledge itself is such, it is self-acting, in the sense that cautioning mechanism that gets opened out of prajna shakti, awakening, is fantastic. It doesn't allow you to rest in peace at all. It will make you correct yourself, and until then, it will not let you rest in peace. And haven't you experienced this?
Yeah, I have experienced that, but I observed that 25 main files, big files are there. So with them, I am not able to be in the peace, so for them, I have decided that some pratikraman is necessary.
Correct. Correct. So this awareness and this caution that has come up within you is because of the awakened prajna shakti.
So
You understand?
when I try to observe that when some negative thoughts come and the peace is not there, that time I observe, then
Who is
again
not there? Who is not there?
sometimes the thought will come that seeing
What is
other
not there? What is not there?
yeah, can you am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're But I just want a clarification. You said if you miss the Agna, but then what?
So I'm saying that
You
if a
said
thought
something.
where others seem at fault, then the Gyan comes that they are not at fault, So then the
Correct.
process start, and then according to the how much thought comes, then maybe the Pratikraman also means we do
Follow.
it.
Yes. It's true. That's true. So it's like the wisdom of this knowledge is such it doesn't allow you to rest in peace at all. The awakened Prajna Shakti cautions you, make you correct your mistake.
Yes, so as I understand, the thought has from inside the thought, we have to counter the wrong thoughts which come in.
Yes, it's like you remain alert that when these negative thoughts comes, they are just past effects, past karmic effects. Don't accept them. The moment you accept, it's like, I get a thought, Dr. Kashyapji is like this. Then immediately my awakened Prajna Shakti is going to caution me. You're talking about outside Kashyapji? No, inside is pure soul, and outside is operated by the cosmic power of Vyavasthit Shakti. So he's not responsible, he's innocent. And it is because of your karma, he is becoming an instrument, an image for you.
Right.
This analysis normally comes, but if that is skipped, it doesn't happen, then maybe after some time you're going to correct, but it will not let you rest in peace. It will finally make you correct, and then only it will leave you alone. Do you understand?
Yeah, and we ask for strength from Dadaji, so that to see the correct vision. Yes, that's all. Okay.
Okay.
We
Jai
should not take
Satchidanand.
certain things literal meaning, like how you brought this, but you have to understand the context and understand what Dada is trying to bring out, what
Correct.
kind of caution, what kind of guidance he wants to give us. You understand?
Correct.
Okay.
It's like
Jai
if you
Sat-
literally say, then he said, see, nobody knows anything about obedience, and nobody is obedient. Never, they don't want to listen to anybody. But Dada's wisdom of knowledge itself is such, with that awakened Prajna Shakti, it doesn't allow you to rest in peace. It will make you correct, and then only it will let you go. And that everyone experiences. Exceptions are there, but exceptions are not to be quoted. Right?
Okay. Jai Satchidanand. Lalita Ben.
Yes. Jai Sachidanand, Deepakanandji and Pulinanandji, Mahatmas. I have a mundane question. We were talking about Vyavasthit, and this happened just a couple of hours ago. Apparently, my credit card was used in another state, and the fraud protection kicked in, and they asked me if I had made this transaction, and I said no, so they were able to decline the transaction. So that's taken care of. Now, in this process, this is Vyavasthit. Nothing is happening outside of Vyavasthit. Um, you know, am I supposed to do pratikraman to the person who tried to run the card? Because
Pulinanandji.
the duk came, in a way, that somebody
But
was
did
using
you
your card in another state.
lose your card?
No, it's with me. In fact, I was able to call and decline and say, no, I didn't make this transaction. So they canceled the card and they declined the payment. So somebody, I don't know, there's so much electronic stuff going on these days.
Yes. This is that accepted. This is possible. So first of all, see, this is the system itself is such, it confirms the payment when it is from outside your normal place of or city of residence.
Correct.
Just to confirm that you are the person who is
Uh-huh.
operating
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
the card. So that is there. But when someone have attempted this, in a way you can say he can do pratikrama, because somewhere you might have done in the past. You means relative Lalita. You means
Correct.
don't say as I did it. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
The
File number
very
1.
that you encountered such a thing
Mm-hmm.
indicates that something was done, because for a moment, it shook you up
Correct. It did.
a
Although, I was
level.
able to say this is Vyavasthit, and whatever little punya I have, it kicked in, and there was no loss of money in the transaction. It was declined, and my card is cancelled. They're going to issue me a new card. But the thing is, since this happened to me, whom am I doing pratikraman to? I don't have
No,
a
no, no,
name
no,
or a
no.
face or anything.
Pratikraman, when you know the person,
Mm.
then you directly address the person and correct yourself.
Yes.
But when the person is not known, but
Mm-hmm.
still you pass through that suffering,
Mm-hmm.
you understand?
Yes.
That initial, that transaction, oh my God,
That
someone tried to use card.
shook you
That
up a little bit.
yes. So that was your karmic account or karmic debt.
Okay.
If these people would have contacted you after a while, let's say when the transaction already made,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like the transaction is made, you get a message and you call these people and they say, hey, this is not my transaction. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then the extent of suffering is bigger than this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They will pay you back, because as per law, when you say that this was not the person, I didn't make this transaction and all that, so they will give you that money. But then the implication of that suffering is bigger if that happens. Do you
Correct.
understand?
Correct.
You know what is the thermometer in any situation? Don't look at what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Look for how much level of suffering you had to pass through.
Okay.
That is your karmic debt. That
Yes.
is Lalita's karmic debt.
Yes, that's a very subtle
You
point, because you get hung up on what happened rather than
So,
what
yes,
it's provoking you to go through.
yes, what you see, such a big thing happened, but you were fast asleep.
Right.
All others were in, like someone, we have seen example like there is a plane crash and everybody was in panic, running around, and you were sleeping, deeply sleeping, and someone wakes you, hey, come on, wake up, your plane is on fire and we have to get out. Only that amount of suffering you had to pass through and you are safely brought outside. Do you understand?
Correct. There was a sutra just recently about parigrah. The other says if it gives you dukh, it's parigrah.
Correct. Parigraph is ownership,
Yes.
false ownership,
Uh-huh.
minus. That which
Yes.
doesn't belong to you, you are having that ownership aspect. Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yes.
Parigrah relates to ownership. With that which doesn't belong to you, you feel that it is yours.
Correct.
Possessiveness.
I'm glad you brought that out, because I should concentrate on the reaction it provoked rather than what happened.
Correct.
Thank you.
Many
Jai
times
Sachidan.
big thing happens. Many times big thing happens and you have little suffering. And many times small thing happens and you have a big suffering.
Correct.
That also we observe.
Yes.
We notice that.
Yes. Thank you. Jai
Pulinanandji,
Sachidanand.
Pulinanandji?
See, it's very simple. It's very short and very simple. Someone
Mhm.
used your card outside your
Mm.
thing. You were fortunate that you got the message in time
Mhm.
and you declined. Simple.
Mhm.
So you had, summary is you had some amount of mental suffering,
Yes.
right? That anxiety and pain and whatever. And
Mhm.
then you could see it that this was part of your Vyavasthit.
Mhm.
So what we have to look at is very simple. That Vyavasthit was that you were destined to have a small amount of mental suffering. That's
Mhm.
all. We have suffering of mind, body, and speech.
Mhm.
Mental
Mhm.
suffering, speech suffering, and mental suffering. So in your case, you are very fortunate that this was a small amount of mental suffering which Vyavasthit gave you.
Mhm.
The nimit being the card getting stolen. That's all, or misused.
Yes.
So
Card
misuse
is
the
with
card.
me physically.
Card was with you. So
Mhm.
some electronic this
Correct.
thing,
Correct.
and then someone tried to break into your card and use it, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
The summary is that you were in your Vyavasthit, suffering was limited to a little bit of mental suffering, no
Mhm.
physical suffering, no financial suffering.
Mhm.
So that's all. Just observe that this was Lalita's suffering, and you were fortunate enough that it got nipped in the bud.
Correct.
That's all. The chapter closed. Yeah,
Mhm.
ठीक है. After that, you may have, if required, take whatever precautions you may, if possible, so that this
Mhm.
doesn't happen in the future, if such a thing is possible. That's all. We learn from an experience. Use Vyavasthit that you are destined for a small amount of suffering, and it quickly came back. No financial suffering was this thing destined for you. Just view it from that point of view and leave it and move on. Simple. Nothing much on that.
But it's a good test to see where I am, you know.
No. See, you are with Vyavasthit. You are with Agna. But
Mhm.
this suffering has come to file number one. The file number
Correct.
one, intellect and
Mhm.
ego and mind have been perturbed.
Yes.
So it's fine. That will happen to everybody. See, if you want to really be in super awareness, then you have to observe that this is what happening to file number one, and file number one has taken the necessary corrective action, and
Mhm.
fortunately, it got nipped in the bud.
Yes.
Not getting perturbed is a different thing altogether.
Uh-huh.
That will come at a higher order of awareness as we
Yes.
move up. But
Yes,
you
we're
see,
striving for that.
then we are saying, but then you see, perturbation, disturbances will come to file number one. And if you are able to remain aloof from file number one, then that also is a high order of awareness of Jagrati.
Mhm.
So that is the intermediate stage we should be striving for.
Mhm.
And I'm able to look at the perturbations and find solutions or do appropriate व्यवहार, do appropriate whatever worldly actions have to
Mhm.
be.
Mhm.
And then that non-perturbation state will come when the intensity of our discharge, Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh will reduce,
Mhm.
and knots from the mind will diminish in intensity and size.
Mhm.
Then thought may come and go, it'll just fizzle out. It'll fizzle out. So it will not impact you to the extent it has impacted you. The external
Correct.
situation which has impacted you to some to a reasonable extent, that
Mhm.
impact of the external situations will reduce drastically. Like Dada Bhagwan, someone made a false accusation and then of stealing, and there was a unbailable warrant issued in his name, and a policeman came to arrest him at his house. Dada was in his satsang, and policeman came. So he was in plain clothes. He didn't realize that. The Bhagwan didn't realize that this is a policeman. So he said, please sit down.
Mhm.
And he continued with his satsang. He continued with his satsang. And after some time, he said that, no, I'm police and I have brought this unbailable warrant and you'll have to come with me to the police station. So he said, okay, fine, have tea. Then he got ready and then he said, okay, come. So he was totally unperturbed. That is that state you are saying. That will come in stage 2. Stage 1,
Mm-hmm.
perceptions will be there, but you are able to manage them. Then perceptions will reduce and it will not impact you. Though it happened in this case. And in fact, Dada Bhagwan said, okay, now that you are taking me to police station, if you have rope, tie my hands with the rope and drag me with my hands back to the police station. Why? So that my neighbor, who is extremely jealous of me, that fellow, my neighbor, he calls himself a Bhagwan, he calls himself a Gnani Purush, and that jealousy and that discomfort that was to him, he will feel very nice. Ah, see, what a great man he would profess himself to be, and
Mm.
how he is caught like a thief, and then he's being taken to the police station. So to to make him happy, a jealous person happy, Dada said, okay, if possible, do that also. Of course, the policeman didn't do that. He said, no, you are a gentleman. You please come like that only. But the point I'm trying to drive is the extent of disturbance it causes to us.
Yes.
Since Dada was totally aligned in the soul, anchored in the soul, and he knew that this is Vyavasthit and file has come. He said, okay, come on, let's see what's there. So that is the ultimate state we are aiming for. In between, we will have perceptions, and we will get out of the perceptions after they are over. Then we will
Mm-hmm.
listen to Gyan, Vyavasthit, and things like that.
Yes.
And then as we rise a little higher, those perceptions also we will observe at that point of time with equanimity and take what necessary worldly actions. And then third stage is that Dada Bhagwan stage, where even those will not impact to the slightest extent.
I remember him telling us this story, that he says, I had nothing to fear. I had not done anything wrong. So I said, by all means, come, let's
Ah,
go. I remember him saying that,
yes.
that
Since
confidence he had.
and he had both confidence. He had confidence. I have not done wrong, so let's see what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he also had the other confidence. He also had the other confidence
Mm-hmm.
in a similar experience in his contract business.
Mm.
He had dumped a lot of construction material at one site, steel, cement, and whatnot, and it would get stolen. And
Mm-hmm.
then they would complain at the police station, and then police would come, and then they would do investigation and raise a halla gulla with the workmen around that why you're stealing and all that. Whoever is caught will be punished, etc., etc. And they would go away. And then again, it would happen after 1 or 2 months. Same thing. And again, same this thing. Dada Bhagwan had also kept a watchman to guard the materials and all that.
Mm-hmm.
In spite of which, it kept on happening, once, twice, thrice. And then Dada applied his Gnan and found out why is this happening. And then he realized that I have acquired illicit money or black money rather in some
Mm.
other trade, some other ways,
Mm.
in some other business somewhere else.
Mm.
And that black money is now going through this series of robberies.
Mm-hmm.
He realized the cause. He could find out the cause for this happening. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the type of suffering does not come to a person who has not done anything wrong.
Exactly.
He realized that yes, I have done this mistake, so let it happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So he continued. He
Mm.
continued. There would be robbery. He would report to the police station. Policemen would come. They would raise a hue and cry and go away. Then again, after a few 1 or 2 months, again robbery. Again it will happen. Again go away. It happened for 11 months.
Wow.
And then after that, I realized that the watchman that they had kept, the guard that they had kept, he himself was, giving tips to the the robbers that come and take it and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
at that time, then everything was squared up. Then the person was removed, and so Dada knew that to the extent or the amount of black money or illicit money that I have acquired, that much
Mm-hmm.
will go away. So he
Mm-hmm.
allowed it to go away,
Mm.
and that means he allowed that suffering to or loss to happen. And then after that was squared off, the robbery stopped, and the insight struck him that the real culprit is the watchman or the guard, and then corrective action was taken.
Wow.
This is the second example where he has nothing to fear because he knew he had not done anything wrong in the case
Mm-hmm.
of that warrant. And in this case, he knew here what he had done wrong and he allowed it to happen as part of Vyavasthit and squaring up of that financial accounts. So we have both examples. So these are examples of a high order of awareness, which we are
Yes.
all aspiring for.
Yes.
So what happen is initially all of us will go through a flip-flop in the sense suffering will come and then we will apply Gnan afterwards and then again we'll square off the suffering. Then as awareness increases, what will happen is suffering will come and immediately Gnan will come in place. So both will go hand in hand, suffering and Gnan. And then next will be where suffering does not take place at all. The Gnan comes immediately. So
Very
these are
nice.
these are the
Thank you.
steps we are going through. We are all going through.
Deepakanandji,
Thank
you
you.
wanted to
Jai-
put some additional comment?
Just imagine you averted, for whatever reasons, any financial loss, and you feel so much relieved. But we never feel all that when we disobey Dada in situations, and the loss what you incur by not obeying Dada is enormous, because it's like
I
the
know.
bliss what he has given us in our palm, we are not able to experience that.
Because this, it's a tangible loss and this is an intangible bliss. So you can't relate to it so
How
easily.
can you say intangible? Ah, okay, it's like we have valued the financial aspect to a great extent. That's why we are not able to experience that. I mean, that's why we experience that. But this not obeying Dada, and due to which you end up suffering, is enormous actually, because he has given us bliss in our palm itself, on the spot, cash back of divine solution. Correct? That is not just the thinking that, because it's like small things disturb us so much, but it's like, next time you feel that, oh, I'll have to be very careful when I use stuff and all that. But this, not obeying Dada, not remaining in Dada's Agna, doesn't really uh, affect us or touch our heart. But these things really make us feel bad and we want to remain more cautious and all that. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand, you are so right. You're so right. And that's a nice point that you brought up.
Okay, Jai Sachidanand. Thank you, Paritaban, for bringing back to Vyavasthit Shakti. And, earlier, Deepakanandji also talked about, when he talked to your question, about Vyavasthit Shakti. He came back to Vyavasthit Shakti. And Pulinanandji just also talked about Vyavasthit Shakti and suffering. So I have a couple of points, and maybe Pulitanji can dwell on that. When we get suffering, then we start to solve a problem, and if we then realize this Vyavasthit Shakti, and then leave it to Dada, say, Dada, it's up to you to solve this problem, then your calmness come, and then due course it gets done. The solution comes out. Okay, that's one thing. Other thing is, when we don't have suffering, we totally pretty much elude away from Vyavasthit Shakti. We don't say that, hey, Vyavasthit Shakti did this when we are. So, can you dwell on this too? Why, we forget all the time that, hey, when good things happen, is all Vyavasthit Shakti also.
Yes, yes, yes. You see, that's true. When things don't go our way or we are stuck up in some project or same work and all that, then we leave it to Dada. Dada, I surrender this file to you, please, and take care. And so that it offloads our load on our mind or our intellect. And to calm the intellect, basically, it is essentially to calm the intellect. what will happen, how will happen, when will this get over, that time, when will the suffering be over. That is the thing the intellect brings up. To calm that, we have to use that nothing will happen beyond Vyavasthit. Nothing will go beyond Vyavasthit. The suffering will not extend beyond Vyavasthit. So essentially, we are calming down the intellect and, of course, the ego along with it. So that is when there is suffering. When suffering is not there, in fact, you know what? It should be taken as a learning exercise that when things don't go your way, uh, because some evidences are missing, some solutions are missing, some limit is missing. So, and then when it falls in place, you must understand that when things fall in place, only event takes place. Use that knowledge when we are not suffering and things are good and reasonably on track. So at that time, we must thank ourselves that thank God that you are able to do things the way you are able to do things. Your health is okay, or your servant is coming, or your this is happening, or that is happening. So you're able to even do this, say satsang, or say reading, or say other worldly activities. So then we must view Vyavasthit as, see, thank God, so many positive circumstances are enabling me to do what I am doing, whether it's in the relative aspect or whether it's in the real aspect by way of some self-Purusharths. I do that at times on and off, not on this thing, but that whenever good things happen, I say, yes, thank God, you have got so many favorable things. So your things are flowing the way you want it to flow. And now that things are favorable, extract maximum mileage out of it for your spiritual advancement. That is what I at times do, બધું સારું છે, health is good. You just take the maximum mileage for your spiritual advancement, for your Atma Jagrati and things like that. So we can make it's in Western terminology, it's saying thank you, Dada, or giving gratitude for the positive things that you're having. Attitude of gratitude, as they say. So just thank the positive situations you are in and move on. So that's one way of looking at Vyavasthit during the good times, non-suffering times.
Yeah, my experience of Buddhism is the same thing. Like you said, I said, oh, Dadaji, kamal kar diya aapne. Dadaji, tamar kamal karna hai. When things good happen, when I go to a meeting goes good, of course you pray before the meeting. When you come back, say, Dadaji, tamar kamal kar diya. So it does happen like what you said, yes.
See, when we pray before a meeting, in your case, this particular case, essentially we are saying we don't want to hurt anybody. Essentially, we are saying we don't want to get upset. We want to remain calm, that our anger, pride don't overtake us. That is the filter we are putting before we go on our vision or our understanding or on our awareness. And then the meeting goes good. So then we are so grateful. Oh, what wonderful vision Dada has given. And we can remain with Rag even in trying circumstances or with sticky files, if I may say so.
Right.
That's true. So we have an aha feeling for Dada. And same thing, when I can share, there was a nasty problem in my flat, in my house, flat above me, one story above me. Water was leaking, and then it would mess up all my drainage and my wall and things like that. Even the floor above me was suffering, and then we tried to approach the person staying over there. The lady was very adamant, I will not allow anybody to come in my house, nothing in this, that, and it was a big mess. It went on for 6 months, 8 months, I don't know how. I was paying file no sambal and nikal and things like that. And slowly, things worked out. We approached the intermediate fellow. He talked, I talked. Getting a plumber also is a big project nowadays. And then with great difficulty, I got one. He said, I will charge so much. And then the society fellow refused. No, this will not be on the society. It will be on your own, this thing. And then I approached the other person. He said, never mind, you get it done. Then the person is not there. Then another plumber. And she said, no, you come only on Saturday, Sunday. So one Sunday, the plumber didn't come. Fat, the whole thing gets postponed for one full week. And again next Saturday, Sunday. And lot of trials, tribulations. And finally one day he popped up, then prayers to that lady. And then gradually things. So the summary of my learning was, my experience was that we have to pray whenever such things, tricky things happen, which are beyond my control. Now I have no control on the lady allowing to go. I have no control on the plumber coming. I have to coordinate the two people. I can't go out of the house for that, and it is a big, trial. And the only thing is pray. And I learned that things fall in place only at the appropriate time. The solutions come only at the appropriate time. And other case also, one wonderful concept that the Bhagwan has given on Vyavasthit, when you are going through a problem and a solution is not emerging, what should I do to solve the problem? The Bhagwan has said, that thought, which will give the solution, that do this, will come automatically at its appropriate time. Appropriate time when the suffering is bound to over, at that time that one. So if you're not able to find a solution, pray, do all the normal things, and wait for the karma to be paripakwa, or for the fructification of the solution to come and suffering to end.
Yeah.
So that's how sometimes I have experienced Vyavasthit.
And that is why you calm your mind. Ne? That is the only way to calm your
you
mind.
basically calm the intellect and the mind, both.
Yeah.
Intellect is calm, mind gets calm. Intellect is not at peace, so mind is also agitated.
Yeah, right.
But essentially, what I learned was that this is where I see Vyavasthit, that if you're destined to suffer for X period, say 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, that remains. We can reduce the impact by doing 3 mantra and things like that. So everything has a beginning and end, Sanyogo, Viyogi, Swabhavana, as they say, circumstances are of parting nature. So that I can now clearly see, the good circumstances also part, the bad circumstances also part. So just play it out superfluously. That's how one of the ways we can be detached from the intellect, from the mind, from file number 1 in general. So this Vyavasthit, the knowledge of Vyavasthit the knowledge of Vyavasthit Agna helps us to remain detached in this manner. Jai Satchidananda.
Deepakanji? Deepakanji? Deepakanji, can you hear me?
Yeah, now what? Yeah. See, when you remain vigilant in positive and negative situations, then in both the situations you remain balanced. Okay, in favorable circumstances where everything is happening as per your design, then we thank Dada so that we don't take pride of our success. And at times of failure, we thank Dada that we remain in Agna, and so we also come to know our mistakes where things are happening, and we do corrective actions, whatever is needed, correction wise. So this is how in both the situations, this vigilance, you don't need to thank anybody in principle, but we need to thank here because still that lurking ego is there, which can make you take pride of your success. So everything, in all favorable situations, we thank Dada. In all unfavorable situations, we blame ourselves for our mistakes and we keep correcting ourselves. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Kashaba, you have a question?
Yeah, can I ask one small question?
Okay.
This came in the WhatsApp, and this I found it from, it is in Afghani for this, it says, please read. It says, Nikhalas hoye te vivar ma bada khapi jaiye. Bada e nikhalas hoye nahi loko bada ne nikhalas kahe che. Nikhalas to judo જ હોય, દરેક વિષયમાં નિખાલસ હોય, એક બેમાં નહીં. I don't understand what is the bada, I didn't understand what is meaning of bada. Can you please...
Deepakanji?
Jai Satchidanand. It's like when you are open Nikhalas means your openness, your acceptance of things. At times, when you reveal things openly, then world view wise, you are identified as a dumb guy. You're not supposed to be so much open. You understand that?
Open or pure? Nikhalas is pureness, right?
Pureness, openness. You reveal things as it is.
As it is. Okay.
You don't hide, you don't pretend, you don't manipulate.
Okay, that is the Nikhalas. And what is the Bada?
Badha means bagha.
This is
It's not
Bada.
badha. Badha means dumb guy.
Okay, Bhaga is dumb guy. Okay. Okay.
Ah, it is who doesn't know what is how you should behave in society.
Hmm. So he is saying લોકો Bhaga ne Nikhalas કહે છે.
The idea is that Dada says Bago Nikhalas hoye nahi. So a dumb guy can never be open and pure.
But
And
usually
when he said, but someone who is open and pure, he will be in all the worldly aspect.
okay.
He won't be limited to certain aspect only.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, but usually we think that only we only focus on it is customary to focus on only one aspect, right? Loko
Yeah,
Bada
so
ne
it's like someone who is truly pure and open, he will remain open and pure in every aspect of life. This is the idea. So, in certain aspect, if someone is open and pure, then at times people consider them as dumb guy who doesn't know what he should be doing in such situations.
means every aspect means in every aspect means means having a
In
balance
all
in
situations, in every situation,
means we should
he is
be
open.
means in our work and in the satsang and in different dealings with different people. That is what we should.
It's like people have a different face.
Hmm.
They don't bring out things as they are. They manipulate, they pretend, they hide. So that is not open and pure.
Hmm. Okay.
People are like that in certain aspect. But even worldview wise, if someone is open and pure in certain aspect, at times they are considered as dumb.
Yes.
So it's like it's not necessary to open up here. You understand?
Yeah, I got it. I understood. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Just one second.
Yeah.
Just bring that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a minute. I'll bring it.
You see, just 2 lines up it is said કે નિખાલસ તો કોઈ હોઈ શકે જ નહીં. આત્મજ્ઞાન થયા પછી જ નિખાલસ થાય. This નિખાલસ or openness comes only after true નિખાલસ as defined by Dada Bhagwan comes only after atmagnan or self-realization. So Bhaga is a dumb. Now dumb fellow is generally speaking going by his prakrutic development. He only understands that much thing. So that's why people call him dumb. Bhagam is dumb who doesn't understand things. So then the dumb fellow will just do the way he thinks, understands on that. So that's pure prakruti at play. Whereas Nikhalastha is a quality that emerges after you get spiritual enlightenment, after we are separate from the body. So we don't have any hesitation on stating the things that is happening to file number 1 as it is. What is happening to file number? Oh, he's filing this, he's feeling that, this has happened to file number me, this has happened to that. So that is called true openness, where all aspects of the things are nikhalas, in all his relative matters, financial, health, relations, whatever, or his good and bad things. He doesn't mind telling or revealing the way Prakriti is feeling, behaving, acting, thinking, and all that. So that is true Nikhalas or openness about this thing. And dumb fellow has a limited amount of things he can say and think and all that, you know. So that is the little discretion Dada is trying to draw between dumb and Nikhalasa. And maybe the last line says, Nikhalas, we said, Jara first samjhao. Maybe the answer comes below that. But anyway, we have time. So time is up, rather. What is this Aptavani, you said? Why Aptavani 4?
Aptavani 4, Nikhalas ta nirbhay banave, you know, so this is a
Okay.
page
Nikhalas ka nirbhay banave. Okay.
page 207. Yeah, you can see the full reference there.
Okay.
Okay, Jai Sachidanand. Time is up, Deepika. Before that, Matma, please, you know, Vyavasthit Shakti is part of our Agna. So let us observe positivity, negativity in when we circumstances comes and how we deal with Vyavasthit Shakti. Please, please. It's very important. This is a part of our Agna. Thank you. Deepika ji?
Positive and negative situations.
Deepika ji, तेरी मतलब बोला है?
Jai Sachidanand. Namo Vitragaya.
Namo
Oh,
Vitragai.
Agai.
Vitragai.
Namo Vitanam.
Namo
Namo
Arihantanam.
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo
Namo
Siddhanam.
Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo
Ayariyanam.
Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo
Vajjayanam.
Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Lavva Pava Pranachano.
Sarvapava Pranashano.
Pranashano.
Mangalanam Jasuvesi.
Mangalanam
Mangalanam
cha
cha
Sarvesham.
Sarvesham.
Adamam Havai Mangala.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah
Namah
Shivaya.
Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.